Hello? Hello, Mediquill, Cosmo. How's it going? Happy Saturday. What's going on? It's going better than yesterday, not hurting as much. Yeah. How is all that going? Are you getting medication for it? Mediquill, your legs hurt. Yeah, I saw all the photos. Did you have a good time at whatever con you went to? Place was packed, I bet. Very hot. Oh, I need well, as long as you had fun. Let's see. Some people don't know what a pit stick is. Oh, deodorant. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, people don't know what showers are either. Saw two classmates there from college. Right. It's also like there's a whole bunch of factors when it comes to people smelling, right? Like there's people who will shower but they like won't wash their clothes. Right. And then there's people who wash their clothes but they don't shower. Guys, Scout from TF2. He smelled like BO. Yeah, and some people's cosplays are hard to wash. So then you got that issue of like just people not they either don't know what Febreze is or the cosplay's too far gone. That it would definitely need further intervention. Right. Cause I mean like 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 steaming should help, but most people don't have like a steamer. You kept looking at the cards. Yeah, I bet. Like, like recently, I've just been like, I can't go to cons. I'm like, I shouldn't be going to cons or like any sort of event like that because I know that I'm just gonna want to spend money I don't really have. $100 on a card. Yep. Like I need to I need to keep that money for other things, right? Like streaming and stuff. Best way to not spend my stay inside. Yeah, well, I mean, I can still order stuff online. But man, let me tell you, I'm gonna show you how how much I like printed out last week. And unfortunately, I had some failed prints. Kiki, get out of here. And I have to redo some, which is unfortunate, but it's all right. Did it go in? In. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it is a scheme. Well, it's not like I can get prison and resin anywhere else. 14 for the singles, 35 for one box, 20 for five another box. 30 for the birds. The birds? Do you share pictures of? Wait. Birds. Oh. Let's see. Okay. So the okay, so those are the cards that you got. Oh, the birds. Oh, I see it now. JA's going. I like the birds. All right. Oh, let's see here. Um, let me get this somewhat set up here. This is fine. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna be painting today. As you can see, I already kind of started on her. I was supposed to work on her more, but I just haven't. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see. What do I have? Okay, so I have my there's so many pieces. I don't know why they did this. But here, like so there's this little dude and both of the hands were separate, like both of the arms were separate, and then the head was separate, and this one still needs the mushroom hat attached. But obviously I'm waiting to get everything painted. Like I had to attach the hand on this one and the head. This I still need to look a head with the hat, and I need to get it in. Like it doesn't fit. I have to fix it. And then this one's still headless because A, I need to paint it, and B, I need to form it. And then I still have to put that on. And that's the slime one. And it's just there were so many like little pieces. And then of course, you know how like everything like goes really well, right? And you're like, wait a second, things are going too well, right? And then you're waiting for that like that one thing to go wrong. Yeah. So like the last the last combos that I had, yeah, why is everything going great? It was a failed print. So I was like, heck it, like and plus the first print around, I was like, these are a little bit smaller than I wanted them, so I upscaled them, and then I had a hard time printing them all out on one get-go. And then I printed out this guy, and this guy comes with a whole bunch of pieces. And just all the pieces. Lumi. And then it gets better. So I have her and this base with all of these pieces. The legs and the trees and the head and the ears and the wings and the little ghost cats, and this doesn't fit into this. This is the joys of printing. It's just and then the other leg, I won't get to her for a while though. Nothing's primed yet. Everything's great. Everything's fine. Not a problem. Maybe. Okay. I was like, where'd my other brush go? All right, let's get to it. This will probably I'll probably have like it'll probably be a little bit shorter stream today. Wow. Let's see, eat that. Okay. All right. Actually, do I have my other thing over here? Hold on. What? To find my handle wherever it's at. I need the bigger one though. Okay. Well, I guess it's gone forever. I have no idea where it's at. There's that one. No. Nope. Nope. Guess not. Where? Well. Oh no, there it is. Rex. It is a pretty cool mini. Let me actually. Do I still have the picture that you guys can see the image? It's let me enlarge this. It's this one. It's the Victoria steel. Oh, Jade got a 15 stream streak. It's a good streak. Yeah, this is 75. Anybody have anything fun going on? Oh. Q, what's going on? Working right now? Oof. Oh my god. Anonymous Rex, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm trying to. There's like so many like colors on this model that I don't have. And then I have to figure it out. Let's see. I don't have anything fun going on. Just getting ready for another evening of chaos because everyone likes streaming at the same time. Cosmo. Cosmo, you can't have stream streaks for everybody. I mean, to be fair, I don't have to stream just on the weekends anymore because I don't have a job. I just do too much during the week, I guess. But it's like one of those things we go to the gym twice a week in the evenings. Which is why I'm so tired today. I wanted to start stream a little bit earlier, but God, my arms are dead. Certain dragon you never miss streams for. He only streams on Saturdays, right? I don't ever. He doesn't stream very often. Yeah, he streams up. He streams. He just kind of streams whenever he wants to. Yeah, Zephyr's great. Guess it's more of like a brown color. Hold on. Dealing with a Switch issue recently. His capture card and volume. His capture card and volume. I think would that be? I don't know what that would be. He might just have to Google that. Grimmer man, how am I? How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. How are things going with you? Hopefully they're going well. Your eats, you know, food is good. Mm. Mm-mm. Look up Ronin Arts Workshop. I will link their Twitter. Yep, no problem. I do a lot of their stuff. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just really like their miniatures. I finished up her recently. I also finished him up recently. Yeah, the 120. Yeah, I have a another 120 that I'm gonna be working on soon. She's still in pieces though. Like, I try not to do a whole lot of 120s. Um, Mainly because since I don't have like an airbrush or anything, like it just takes forever to complete. So so like it's just a lot. The mini can't. Yeah, I have her. I have her on my desk. There's a couple board game pieces that are edging pinup territory. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, because I know there's Kingdom Death. I think that's what it is. Which I have one because it's interesting because it came with like just kind of like yeah. So I have oh, I have her. I haven't primed her yet, obviously. But this is like this isn't the board game size. So I don't have a whole lot. I just have the one. I got it like a long time ago, and it's just been kind of sitting. Eternally scared to paint him. Yeah, I think that's probably I haven't painted that one because I was like, well, because I got it like, man, a good probably like year and a half, 2 years ago. And I was like, I'm gonna wait until I get a little bit better at painting miniatures. Yeah, I haven't seen any of their recent ones. Ever since I got a resin printer, I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna do these. Yeah, I have a pretty decent printer. I have the Elegoo Saturn 4. And like I think this is printed at 0.5 millimeters, which is still pretty good. You'd like to paint 75 1/8 scale garage kit one day? Yeah, I mean I'm hoping to the point to get bigger, you know. Right now 120 is big enough for me. But I mean, I'd say, 75 is a pretty good scale in my opinion. Like I have like I've printed out small stuff. So like I have my goblins. Like look at the size this size difference. So this is probably around this I think this is between 38 and 54. Actually, where's my measuring thing? Well, so I think this one's about 54 because I still need to put the hat on her. But it's just like the smaller you go, the more precise like your painting has to be. So like So like in my opinion, like if you're like my advice for like newbies if they want to paint is try to paint something bigger first and then work your way down to like a smaller scale because even though you kind of see more like actually I don't know if you see more imperfections on a bigger scale. I guess it's more forgiving. Oh, oh thanks.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely less finicky. Sorry, I got pizza. Yeah, definitely a lot less finicky. I got a lot of pizza. Hmm. No, I'm gonna eat all of this pizza that I got. Wow. Polar, what's going on? How's it going? Chilling. Nice. How was your stream earlier? GT New Horizons grindy. Well, it sounds like you got fun. had one piece. Okay, where was I? Hmm. Oh, Polar, you probably weren't here earlier. I got goblins printed out. I got some goblins printed out. Some of them are still headless. Got a lot going on here. And then I guess, hold on, I'll just, where are my sticky notes? I got her printed out. So she's looking pretty good. I mean, I was thinking like if I made like a Discord channel that's locked. I might be able to paint it there, but Wait, hold on. I think go. Sorry. So you guys are listening to music. I'm listening to some podcasts. I want to look up this book that they're talking about. Why? The purpose of the universe. Huh. I like I like some good philosophy. You're in a JRPG casino. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what you're listening to. I think you're listening to some video game music. Really? The question, what is the point of living? That's a hard question. It's really funny. They're this podcast I listen to. They're talking about God, and we got like a letter in like our mail today from like a Jehovah's Witness about like celebrating like Jesus or Easter or whatever. And I'm like, I was like, man, don't they realize that Jesus just kind of pieced out? Like, like, a we're celebrating the death of a person because we killed them, and then Jesus was like, "Yep, see you guys. You guys are on your own," which is kind of fucked up. Like, like he was basically a demigod, right? And he could have just slaughtered millions if he wanted to, but he didn't. Because he was like, what if we were just nicer to each other? And nobody liked that, right? It's like the Baldur's Gate 3 pop up. Everyone disapproves, right? And kind of how fucked up that is. And just kind of how we celebrate humans Fallout the dislike problem. Yeah, it's a games any games dislike problem. You can just use any games dislike problem. Like everybody disapproved or whatever. And I know it's like what the whole point of Easter is supposed to be. Well, sort of. Even though Easter was kind of stolen from the pagans. But anyways, when you kind of look at it, that in a in a deeper sense, on how we're basically celebrating human nastiness. So I'm gonna eat some of my pizza right now while I wait for this coat to dry. Oh, well, what's going on? Easter's fucked up, right? And now you got like half the population. Now it's all about bunny girls, right? In 50 years, is Easter actually gonna be about Jesus, or is it gonna just be about bunny girls?
It's bunny time.
It is bunny time. Exactly. Exactly. See, Cosmo knows. Cosmo knows it's all about the bunnies. But anyways, that's kind of my rant. Like, right. Like it would be nice to believe that God was still around. But I don't think he is. I don't think he is anymore. He just took Jesus and left. They're like, you guys are awful. You guys are terrible. Experiment's over. All right, anyways. It didn't make sense to me until I understood the human fixation of suffering and misery. I know, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like 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 that's what I'm saying. Like it's a whole Christian celebration on just us being terrible human beings, right? You know, human beings are just naturally terrible, in my opinion, anyways. You look at the majority. I feel like you have to be taught not to be a bad person. Right? Like there's like this whole consensus on like whether or not like you're kind of innocent like at birth, or like, well, I mean, I guess you could say you're innocent at birth, but like if you're not taught how to be a good person, like I'm gonna argue that most likely you're not going to turn out like a good person, right? I think you're either going to turn out pretty bad or just kind of ambivalent, right? Now, ambivalent, I don't think is good or bad. And it's not good or bad, but just like, if you have the sense of, bad is purposely being terrible to somebody else. Good is not being terrible, but like ambivalence would be like, I'm not going to help somebody if the bad person's hurting the good person, right? Like, someone makes a positive tweet, barely any intention. Someone makes a negative burnout post, millions of clicks and views. Well, I mean, yeah, right. I mean, you got a point. Sort of. I mean, I guess it depends. I think it's more like you have a post calling out good and it doesn't do anything, but you have a post that calls out bad is gonna have a lot more engagement than a post that calls out, good. Point in evolution when pessimism took over. I mean, that's the thing, Cosmo. I think it's always been there. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say like pessimism, but like that bias, I guess, towards, I guess, the negative, I'd say, is probably rooted more in like survival. Like Ongo was in a car crash. Has nothing to do with you, but you want to know what happens. Yeah. Right. Right. That's an interesting it's an interesting example because yeah, even if the car crash is on the opposite side of the freeway for some reason, there's traffic on the side going opposite because everyone slows down and looks at it even though they have no business slowing down and looking at it. Yeah. Right. Endorphin and adrenaline ratios. Adrenaline more powerful drive on the action than endorphin. I think so. But when you kind of think about survival, I mean, I guess it would be one of those things that I need to do more research in. Is that I think we think about the negative more because, like from a survival, it's staying away from things that'll kill us, right? And that even includes other human beings, right? That aren't a part of, I guess you could say, your tribe, right? That's why tribalism's bad. Title would be He Punched a Cop. You won't believe what happened next. It's a bait to lure people in. Right. Right. The reward you survived is overplayed. How about you're doing better than yesterday? I mean, maybe. I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it. In theory, why so many people are strung out on drugs. I definitely want to feel calm and good in a world where people in charge of the airwaves want everyone to feel bad and panicked. Uh, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure people are strung up on drugs, right? Why so many people are on antidepressants and mood stabilizers is that recently, well, I'm gonna argue that recently, because we have so many issues, we have so many systemic issues and so many issues with everything, is that there's no amount of therapy that you can do. There's no amount of going outside and touching grass. Like, there's no amount of journaling. There's no amount of meditating. There's no amount of any any coping skill that you could have. There's no amount of any of that that's going to fix our current problems, right? And so what people have turned to are things like antidepressants, right? And so it, it's one of those things where it's it just things nowadays, they need to be fixed, right? They need to be fixed outside of the person, right? Like our society, and I'm gonna say our society as in, I live in the U.S. and a majority of the people that watch me live in the U.S. on how our quality of life is just so shitty, right? Our air is terrible, the water is terrible, like, right? Like, the past, like, 10-15 years, people are like, oh, I'm not vaccinating my kids, so childhood diseases have started running rampant, right? Like the whole measles thing that's going on, right? A disease that had been considered, eradicated, right? Now, when you say eradicated, it doesn't mean 100% eradicated. It just means that there's less, there's not enough numbers to make it concernable, right? There's not enough numbers to make it like a public safety issue. But like everything's just so bad that the only way that I just dropped my thing. The only way to be happy is to take drugs. Like, plain and simple. It's people can't even function without it. Yeah. People can't afford rent unless they have like two other roommates, right? Can't can't afford a lot of food. Like, food prices keep going up, right? It's, people wonder why people turn to video games and everything like that. It's because reality sucks and there's no point in it. And right? Like, you know, some people are like, you just need to go outside. It's like, yeah, I've done that. Like, I've gone outside, right? I get, right? The the time in my life where I got the most exercise, I was that was possibly the most depressing time in my life. Exercise isn't gonna do it, right? Going outside isn't gonna do it. And then, you know, it, and when people when people give advice, I hate the people that do this. It's like the last podcast I was listening to, they were talking about happiness. I was like, oh, this is an interesting conversation. And this lady was really like, it's like, yeah, just don't read the news. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Not reading the news is probably why we're in this situation that the US is in right now, right? Terrible, terrible advice of not reading the news, right? To be happy, right? It's like don't read the news if you want to be happy. It's like, well, that is true. That is very true. Like, if you want to be happy, like, don't read the news. But let me tell you, I guarantee you, not reading the news is going to work out very bad for you in the long run, right? Because then you're not getting information that you need to know on how to make decisions, right? Like it like so like Australia has like compulsory voting, right? I think we should have compulsory voting, right? Like, the thing is, if you don't read the news, like, you don't see current events, you don't see what's going on in the world, and then ignorance is bliss, right? But then that's just kind of contributing to the problem, the systemic issues that we're having in, well, everywhere, right? Especially in the US. It's like, does reading the news make me happy? No, it makes me fucking miserable. But I do it because I need to be informed on shit that's going on. So when it comes down to it, I can make decisions that are best for the this country, right? When it comes to like voting. Oh god, I fucking hate that advice. Like, just don't read the news. Like, it needs to be your adult duty to read the news, right? And that way of thinking, don't read things on the internet either. Right, exactly. Look up symptoms related to health. Go back to your ways, we're gonna die. Well, rest in peace, Jade. It was nice knowing you. Right. I'm the only one that's gonna read Jade's obituary because nobody else reads anything on the internet. Nobody reads the news. Though, in my opinion, I think we need to turn off the internet for like a month or two. Watch everything go back to normal because people are so upset. Government would have absolutely no choice but to fix themselves. I'm gonna have to redo. Smartphones were a mistake. Smartphones were a mistake. It's really funny. Like if we, I was uh, talking about this to somebody else of that if like we got into like a war or something and like we needed to do like super secret stuff, like stuff that the government can't know about, like we're not going to be able to do that because nobody actually talks to people in person. Like people don't go outside their houses. I was like, imagine we needed to do secret stuff, right? And I think I used like the Underground Railroad as an example of like all that stuff's word of mouth, right? I don't think people know how to do that anymore. Like people don't even like less people go to like fast food, like go out to eat because they just get door dashed in, right? Just everything's delivered. Nobody ever had people don't even go out to get their groceries anymore, right? They just get it delivered, right? Nobody goes outside. Too expensive to go outside. Well, that's the thing, Cosmo. Like people are still spending money though. They're just doing it in a different way. Well, the moral of the story is we're fucked, and that disordered. Yeah, exactly, Cosmo. Right, right. Even though like I sit on the computer all the time, right? I'm always sitting at my desk, right? Which you don't want to do. You don't want to do all the time, and you're putting yourself at risk for injury. Well, at least I still go outside and get my groceries, right? And it's like if you're disabled, like cool, like if you have to have like someone that has to drive you to the store. But like so many people use the excuse of like, oh, I don't want to go out, or you know, I have kids or whatever. DoorDash, Uber Eats having the ability to let up a picture chef increase laziness by 80%. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like it has definitely increased laziness, and I think that laziness has gone into like other aspects of people's lives of just not caring about anything like but themselves. Miss being a kid. I was excited to go out places and get out. I know, right? Like, I love being able to go out. Just get in my car and go wherever I want. And I think that that also kind of ties into the whole like everybody's miserable thing. And it's like if you don't like I mean like is if you start getting stuff delivered and you just kind of go into this spiral of just like never leaving your house, right? And that turns into why even bother about anything. And then you're like, well, everything's shit anyways, so what's the point? Wasn't even scared about that hole in the ozone layer we never hear about anymore. Yeah, Cosmo, I'm pretty sure we repaired that hole in the ozone layer by policies that regulate how much carbon dioxide we put out into the air. Maybe we didn't repair. Maybe we just made it smaller. I don't know if it was fully repaired. But that's the power of having a government that's for the people and not for corporations, right? It's like that they're trying to take once again they're trying to take fluoride out of the water, which is not that's not good. People are so misinformed about what fluoride is. People are like, "Oh, they're drugging the country." It's like, well, fluoride's not a drug, by the way. Fluoride's a mineral, and we kind of need that. Yeah, Rex. Yeah, the yeah. I don't remember the last thing I heard about the hole, but as far as I know, it was pretty much not really a problem anymore. The shit in hairspray. No, there were a lot of regulations when it came to cars. So like there in the past, I don't know, 50 years or so, or however many years cars have been out, there slowly more regulations always passed of like how much smog cars produce. And it's not just about hairspray, it's about a lot of things. Yeah. It all like anything that goes out into the air is gonna affect the ozone. Or the fear mongering over the ozone. Yeah. Well, because that's how it is. But like in the like long term is if it's like if you see something that could be a problem, you just kind of don't want to leave it. Like like if that like ozone let me tell you, like if that ozone stuff would have happened like in today's world, right? Like absolutely probably nothing would have happened. And the problem is with dealing with nature, right? The issue with dealing with nature is that you don't know what it's going to do. So like is it a possibility that the whole ozone thing in the long term it wouldn't have mattered? Maybe nothing would have happened, right? But with our science at the time, you go, "Oh, this is bad." It would have been better just to pass the policies that needed passing without panicking the population. Well, so okay, so this is what I hate about governments and secrets is that when it comes to environmental stuff like that, that people kind of need to know, right? So they can make decisions best for themselves, right? So it's like, you know, even if you pass those policies, people are gonna. It's like okay, well, maybe somebody doesn't want to contribute to a whole bunch of shit in the air, and maybe they'll stop using that hairspray. Maybe they'll just stop using hairspray altogether. right? Or maybe they'll start to drive less. You know, maybe they'll take the bus more, right? Maybe they'll change their shopping habits. Because, well, in a sense, you're right, right? But people, they need to be aware of issues, and that's goes back to why you should read the news and you should do your research on what's going on in the world. Because if you don't go out and do your research and talk to people and do like that, then you have like the issue that we're having now of people being like, well, I didn't know Trump was going to do all this stuff. And everybody else was like, yeah, you did. Yeah, we all knew. Well, we all knew he was going to do all this stuff. We knew he was going to pass tariffs. We knew he was going to start deporting a whole bunch of people. Like, we knew all these things. He said so, right? You just you need to be more informed, like as a in general. Well, yeah, Cosmo, but that goes to our conversation that we had before about like people don't pay attention to the good. They only pay attention to the bad, right? I'm pretty sure I'm 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 pretty sure there was hype over being the ozone layer being fixed. Like I knew that. Right. And that goes into the whole conversation of being informed of what's going on in the world. It's going, oh shit, like we actually fixed that problem. But then that also goes into bias, right? The bias of paying attention to things that are bad because that's a survival, right? Um, right. We don't look at the things that really make us survive. We look at the things that don't make us die, right? We're paying attention more of the bad stuff. Let's see, bonehead scully beer. Just put the pain in your mouth. No, that's gross. That's that is the opposite of survival. I'm not doing that. Talking about survival, that is not going to make me survive. I don't know what's in this paint. All I know is it's water based, and that's it. Probably, hopefully, well, probably not. Hopefully, polar. Hopefully not lead. Hopefully, that's probably why we're so our country's so fucked because lead was in everything years ago, and boomers ingested that shit. Like they probably ingested a shit ton of that shit, and that's probably how they got all the brain worms. Still wondering why the crap we thought lead paint was a good idea. Cosmo, that's we did not know. We did not know that that lead was basically destroying the brain. Like we did not know the health risk of lead. Same thing with asbestos. We had zero risk. We had zero knowledge of the risk of asbestos. Same thing with lead. We did not know the when we used lead, we had absolutely no idea the health risk that lead was going to bring us. But there's a thing called science. And we eventually did our research and we're like, wait, this isn't very good. I mean, relying on alchemists to figure out everything we might have been aware of. Well, I mean, I'm sure alchemists aren't. I bet alchemists wouldn't give two shits about the health ramifications of something. Though the kind of fear the I mean, going back to the fear mongering, is that like some things still have lead in them. Like some like paints and stuff like still have lead. Like when it comes to products, but like it's on stuff that you shouldn't be licking, right? They were looking for a way to turn lead into gold. I mean, yeah, they're not gonna care about health ramifications of lead, right? They're not gonna give two shits about that. Even if they did know, they probably didn't. I doubt they were I doubt they were ingesting it. Though it's possible they were ingesting it, right? Right? They what hundreds of years ago they were ingesting all the things, right? Like the one guy who was taking mercury and a whole bunch of other shit thinking it would make him immortal or something. I don't remember that guy, but I just remember the story. And I was like, "Oh." And they were like, and then I guess he died and it's like, "Well, that's not a surprise." Demons in your blood require the cocaine to cleanse. I mean, yeah, I mean, cocaine was regularly used as like a pain reliever. Though I'm gonna argue that I think you probably could still use cocaine as a pain reliever, right? Like I'm pretty sure if you just if you were able to dilute it enough where it works just enough but you don't get addicted to it. Right? Like people use cocaine just fucking casually. Yeah, it was in everything. I think the only problem is that I think some people are more susceptible to like addiction like than other people. And so like even if they did make medication with cocaine in it again, I think I'm probably half the population would probably still get addicted to it.